All of us have a human right to water and sanitation because water is life. And the government has a responsibility, I believe, to protect everyone. Basic sanitation determines the health of the community and ultimately the health of the nation. My name is Coleman Flowers, and I'm an environmental health advocate. I'm a country girl. I'm from rural Lowndes County. One time we didn't have a septic system, and then we ended up with a septic system, so I know what it's like to be on both ends of that spectrum. I thought when I left and went away and went to college and did other things, that this problem had been solved. And when I found out that this was still a problem in 2000, I just couldn't pull myself away from it. It's impossible to do economic development in communities where there's little or no infrastructure. In many rural communities, there's no community system that waste goes into, and people have individual or on-site septic systems. And a lot of cases, they're not working because they were not designed to deal with climate change. We also find that there are a number of people who cannot afford on-site septic systems. And then the third problem is those people that are living in the small communities have systems that are failing. And as a result, they have sewage either coming into their yards or back into their homes. The reason why we have these problems is I think a lot of times people did not know that these problems existed. The only way we're going to solve these problems is to make sure, first of all, that government is involved and provide the funding for those people in marginalized communities that cannot afford the sanitation solution. And then, of course, for those solutions that are failing because of climate change and creating health problems. The Center for Rural Enterprise and Environmental Justice was formed in order to deal with wastewater problems nationally. Before, our focus was just on Alabama and Lowndes County specifically, but we realized that there are problems with wastewater in rural communities throughout the United States. And as a result, we want to work in 3 areas. One is to focus on education and training of people in local communities, so that they can learn how to advocate for themselves and document problems as it relates to wastewater. We're also looking at policy and helping policymakers to understand and educate them about the wastewater problem and that it exists in their own communities a lot of times and they don't know. And then finally, we're looking at technological solutions, and we're hoping to start working on technologies to actually treat wastewater. The aspect of my approach to advocacy that I consider to be unique is that I actually take people to talk to the people that are living in the situations. The voices that I tend to lift up are people that generally the media do not talk to, or they may not get the opportunity to go and visit the home of families that are impacted. It's very important for us to learn how to work together to actually put forth the effort necessary to solve these big problems so that our children and grandchildren can live in a more sustainable and climate-friendly world.